Imagine for a second that you're walking into court, right? You are an expert family law attorney. You've literally seen it all. Every kind of manipulation, every fake tear, every hidden bank account you can think of. But every once in a while, a case comes across your desk that completely shatters expectations, the kind that leaves the entire courtroom just gasping for air. Well, today in this explainer, we're going to step into the legal shoes of an attorney to dissect a legendary, absolutely jaw-dropping courtroom victory. We're talking about the Martinez case.
So, you might be wondering, how does a supposedly perfect mom lose primary custody of her kids and get hit with a $115,000 bill? To really get this, we have to look at the central mystery of the Martinez family. From the outside looking in, Angela and Michael, they had it all. Picture-perfect suburban life, 16 years of marriage, two really great kids, Sophia, who was 14, and Lucas, who was 11. Angela was the dedicated stay-at-home mom, always organizing the school fundraisers. You know the type. But beneath that flawless veneer, Angela was actually carrying on a secret 3-year affair with a guy named David. And when that truth finally broke, well, the legal consequences she faced were just absolutely devastating.
Okay, let's dive into this. Anatomy of a shocking verdict. Now, it wasn't just the affair that destroyed Angela's life. Believe it or not, it was actually her legal strategy. This quote right here, this is everything. Judge Patricia Morrison literally looked at Angela and said, "You have shown me not just infidelity, but a pattern of deception so complete that I question your ability to be an honest parent." You see, judges assess witness credibility every single day. They're basically human lie detectors. So the extreme harshness of this verdict wasn't just some punishment for cheating. No, it was a direct judicial response to a profound, undeniable pattern of dishonest behavior that completely infected her ability to be a parent. To put that into perspective, in family court, the traditional expectation is usually that a stay-at-home mom will retain primary custody and get some form of spousal support, right? But the verdict here was a totally stark contrast. Michael was actually awarded primary custody. Angela, she was restricted to supervised visitation only, and her spousal support was entirely denied. I can't stress enough how incredibly rare it is for a mother to face this kind of sweeping loss. As legal analysts, this tells us for sure that her specific, calculated lies basically forced the judge's hand. And then, oh man, there's the crushing financial penalty. On top of losing primary custody, Angela got slammed with a $115,000 bill. Breaking that down, that's $70,000 in restitution directly to Michael, plus a court order to pay his $45,000 attorney fees. So let's trace this back. How exactly did a typical divorce escalate into a 6-figure legal disaster? Section 2. Strategy over emotional reaction. It all started when Michael innocently picked up Angela's phone just to check a soccer schedule. Instead of a schedule, he finds a text from this guy David saying, "Can't wait to see you Tuesday. I love you." Now, any normal person's emotional reaction would be total panic, right? Confrontation, screaming, maybe throwing the phone across the room. But Michael made a brilliant strategic choice. He just sat silently on his bathroom floor. He didn't confront Angela. He didn't tip his hand at all. Instead, he leaned entirely into legal strategy, silence, meticulous documentation, and immediately hiring expert counsel. We all know the emotional toll of infidelity on a couple and their kids is just staggering. It's heartbreaking. But Michael understood something absolutely crucial. Composure in chaos creates legal leverage. By keeping his cool and maintaining his personal privacy, he stopped Angela from getting defensive, hiding assets, or deleting evidence. Gathering your evidence quietly, that is the ultimate first step in any family law dispute. Moving on to Section 3, the fatal legal error. Let's evaluate the defendant's credibility from an attorney's perspective and look at Angela's catastrophic missteps. When Michael finally filed for divorce and dropped the evidence on the table, Angela panicked, and her lawyer gave her some incredibly terrible advice. They told her to deny everything. So she did. She adopted this deeply flawed strategy to completely deny the affair, claim Michael somehow fabricated the text messages, paint herself as the victim in all this, and then lie repeatedly under oath. Trying to manipulate the court and playing the victim when there is a literal paper trail, that is a massive strategic error. Which brings us to the big one, perjury. Perjury in family court instantly destroys a litigant's credibility, period. When a judge sits up there and has to evaluate credibility, and someone's sworn testimony directly contradicts hard physical evidence, The judge is going to rule against the liar every single time. Lying to a judge is practically a guaranteed way to lose your entire case.
Section 4. The digital evidence trap.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how Michael utilized his attorney. He hired a veteran family law attorney named Catherine Melee, and she understood exactly how to wield modern digital evidence. Angela sat there in court denying everything, right up until Catherine presented just a sheer mountain of evidence. We're talking hundreds of authenticated text messages, 18 separate hotel receipts under Angela's name that perfectly matched the dates of her supposed doctor's appointments, private investigators' surveillance photos, detailed bank and credit card records. Michael basically used specific, undeniable documentation to systematically destroy Angela's lies.
And the crazy part? The documentation didn't stop at infidelity. It actually revealed massive financial fraud. Catherine pulled out bank records showing Angela had transferred $47,000 to her lover, David, and spent another $23,000 on hotels and dinners, all using marital funds. Add that up, and it's exactly $70,000.
So, naturally, this is why the judge hit Angela with restitution. In family court, restitution is basically a court order requiring one spouse to repay marital assets that were secretly and improperly spent. The legal standard here is crystal clear. You absolutely cannot drain joint family funds to finance your extramarital affair. So the judge forced Angela to repay every single penny of that $70,000 back to Michael.
All right, Section 5, explaining the rulings. Let's step directly into the judge's shoes for a moment to explain the rationale behind these truly devastating rulings. Ultimately, it all comes down to a fundamental lack of integrity. The judge ordered supervised visitation. This is a super severe custody arrangement where a parent can only see their children in the presence of a court-appointed monitor. But why go that far? Well, because Angela wasn't just having an affair. The texts revealed she was secretly planning to move away and literally take the kids from Michael. Her extreme deception led the judge to fundamentally question her honesty and basic safety as a parent.
Furthermore, spousal support was completely thrown out. Now, typically, a stay-at-home spouse might receive support, sure, but bad faith and financial fraud legally invalidate those claims. Angela's active attempts to hide assets, commit fraud, and lie to the court under oath, that legally disqualified her from receiving a single dime of Michael's future income.
Moving into Section 6, the Divorce Litigant's Playbook.
Let's move to and see how this builds into actionable advice. We can review these hard-learned lessons and build a perfect checklist for anyone facing a family law dispute. Step 1. Maintain emotional composure. Step 2. Gather your digital evidence quietly. Step 3. Tell your attorney the absolute truth. Yes, even the really bad stuff. And Step 4. Never, ever lie under oath. Organizing your evidence effectively and maintaining your integrity, that is exactly how you win. Ultimately, transparency is your most effective defense. Supreme integrity is completely required for parents in these high-stress situations. Radical transparency, bringing the honest, unvarnished truth to the court, was the exact key Michael used to secure his family's safety and his massive legal victory. Conversely, we can look at Angela to understand the common pitfalls you absolutely must avoid. Lying to your own lawyer? That's professional suicide. Reacting emotionally just gives away your leverage. Ignoring digital footprints is frankly foolish in the modern era. And worst of all, assuming a judge will just buy your tears when the paper trail clearly proves your guilt. Believe me, judges see through emotional manipulation every single day.
As Michael's attorney, Catherine wisely noted, truth in family court is everything. Michael didn't just win a legal case. He won the love and trust of his healing children, Sophia and Lucas. He protected them. And he did it because he armed himself with the truth, rather than just seeking vengeance. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to consider today. Are your digital footprints building a case for you or against you? Look, in family court, the truth always comes out, and the evidence always wins. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. And remember, in life and in law, live with integrity.